Next up, while we're on the subject of Brooklyn Crips, we got Sheff G. Was sentenced back in March and all that. You know what I'm saying? Like he about to go and sit down for about a little minute. You know what I mean? For a couple of years, something like that. So in May 2023, Sheff G, real name Michael Williams, was arrested alongside his associate Tegan Chambers, aka Sleepy Hollow, and 30 others as part of a sweeping 140-count indictment targeting gang activity in Brooklyn, New York. These charges range from attempted murder to illegal gun possession. The indictment alleged that members of the 8-Tray Crips and 9 Ways gang was responsible for 12 shootings and 1 murder. Prosecutors accused Sheff G of using his music earnings to fund the gang's activity, offering rewards for violence and allegedly being involved in orchestrating attacks and acting as a getaway driver. All right. One particularly serious incident referenced in the indictment was a mass shooting in October of 2020 that killed 1 person and injured 5 others. On March in March of 2025, Sheff G pleaded guilty to multiple top counts of second-degree attempted murder and second and fourth-degree conspiracy charges. All right. He was sentenced to 5 years in prison, followed by 5 years post-release supervision. And this sentence was significantly less than the 20 years that the prosecutors had sought to get against him. You know what I mean? The Brooklyn Supreme Court Justice Danny Chun reportedly factored in that Sheff was not accused of being the actual shooter in any of these incidents. The indictment in the case involved 32 individuals originally. But the Brooklyn District Attorney had stated in March when Sheff took his plea that 17 of those defendants have pleaded guilty, while 14 other defendants still have cases pending, including Sleepy Hollow. Now, I don't know where that's all at yet, because this is as of March 25 or whatever, what I gathered from the report. You know what I'm saying? The identities of the other remaining co-defendants who are still fighting have not been specified in available information. So now in the period between his release on bail in April of 2024 and his sentencing in March of 2025, Sheff G reportedly took steps towards rehabilitating his image and focusing on his music career. Sheff G gave an interview expressing the desire to leave behind his past and, be a positive example, particularly to his younger fans, and he emphasized the message of growth and development in his, with his label and his peers and shit, which is kind of interesting or whatever, because they be beefing with Vote Nation, GDs, and all that shit or whatever. Growth and development now. That's slick. He reportedly spoke out against gun violence to officials at various levels, including the United Nations, state legislative offices, and youth organizations. Got a clip here of Sheff doing an interview with Lisa Evans. Y'all know about Lisa. Yeah, let's get into this real quick.
Now to a Fox 5 exclusive. Platinum drill rapper Sheff G talks about how music changed his life and his upcoming prison sentence.
All right, he chose to open up to only one reporter, Fox 5's Lisa Everest, who has the interview you won't see anywhere else.
Terminal 5 in Manhattan was packed for the last show of Sheff G and Sleepy Hollow's highly successful 18-city tour. The two artists have racked up platinum and gold certified hits in the months that they've both been out of jail. They formed their own record label and forged a deal with a major company. The hardcore drill music that was closely tied to the streets is still there, but there's now more variety, like sexy drill and melodic drill, and that means a bigger fan base.
We be doing the after show. Every time after the show, we be doing the meet and greets. So we get to like really talk to the fans and like, you know, see which songs they like.
Has there been any violence or any incidents, fights or shootings or anything at any of your...
Not at all, Lisa. You know, it's crazy. This is my second tour since I've been home, you know, and then this one I actually got to do with Sleepy. So, you know, it was way more bigger, way more better, you know what I'm saying?
But now tour time is over and doing time is about to begin. This is video of Michael Sheff G. Williams in May 2023 after he'd been booked as one of 32 alleged members of the 8 Trey Crips and 9 Ways gang named in a 140-count murder conspiracy case. It also named Kagan Sleepy Hollow Chambers. The gang was allegedly responsible for a dozen shootings with 13 victims, including one death. Investigators claim Sheff was the mastermind of violence against rivals. I had an exclusive look inside the 4-year investigation and takedown that involved 22 teams from the NYPD Gun Violence Suppression Division and warrant squads. Investigators told me Sheff was not a trigger puller, but claimed he was the mastermind, organizing and orchestrating violence against rivals called ops, like Folk Nation Gangster Disciples and ICG Babies.
If Sheff said something, it happened. A simple text. We got to get a big one. That simple text created a war.
In April of 2024, Sheff made a $1.5 million cash bail and was released temporarily. Then in March 2025, Brooklyn DA Eric Gonzalez announced Michael Sheff G. Williams pleaded guilty to multiple top counts of second-degree attempted murder and second-degree and fourth-degree conspiracy. The DA had asked for 20 years, but Brooklyn Supreme Court Justice Danny Chun gave Williams 5 years behind bars plus 5 years post-release supervision, explaining, quote, I take into account consideration that you are not alleged with shooting anybody, not alleged to actually being the person who shot at or did commit the shooting, and that is very important in my opinion, end quote. Sheff says he's ready to put the streets in the rear view.
It's always going to be tough, you know what I'm saying? That's something very hard to prepare for, but it's like you build and you build and you put the right things in place and the right people in place, and you just hope for the best.
Sheff says he first joined a gang at the age of 12 and understands people might find that shocking. But in certain neighborhoods like his, you were assumed to be gang affiliated because of what street you grew up on.
It's like a family, you know what I'm saying? It's really hard to not be part of certain things in the neighborhood as you're growing up, you know what I'm saying? You automatically be involved with certain things, you know? So it's like...
Now, I'll speak to that. Some people would say it sounds like rhetoric and so on and so forth. I was actually talking about this one of the clubhouses where they were talking. Somebody was speaking on like gang members and gang culture and why people join and all of this and how they wouldn't ever like join a gang, all this other shit. Now, I'm not a gang. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been a part of little crews, and normally, more times than not, like I was a part of like that foundation. Like I was one of the people here to say, "Yo, you know, like we had a little crew when I was living upstate. We had a little crew called Vice Grip. You know what I'm saying? Then we had the Hustle Hard Boys. We used to spell that shit with like $2 signs. So it was $18 sign, dollar sign, hell. Kind of how Hustle spelled his shit. This was back in 2002-ish. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you know, one time you will because you're from a certain area, and maybe your area, like the gang members in your area are already beefing with gang members from another hood. So now you being from that hood, they might catch you and say, "Hey, bro, where you from?" You might say the wrong part of Brooklyn, and they might stomp you out just because they opt you from over there. And now you might feel a way about that shit. When you come back, the gang members in your hood might ask, like, "Damn, shorty, what the fuck happened to you?" And then when you tell them that, you know what I'm saying? Like, they might have your back. Now, the thing about it is one of two things. You might go to them for the help, or they might just step in without even being told and, you know, get back. And at that point, you know, you might have a little allegiance to that. Like, damn, bro, like, you niggas roll for me. So, yeah, I'm from the hood now. And, you know, that's what it is. But,
like, that's how we see it growing up through the neighborhood.
Sheff says he wants the kids, especially those 11 and 12-year-old boys, to know they can go straight for the music without turning to the streets. In the 16 months since he's been out on bail, he has spoken out against gun violence to officials at the United Nations, the state legislative offices, and even youth.
We doing everything we're supposed to do. I just want the kids and I want the youth to see the growth and the development with me and my label and all my peers around me, you know what I'm saying? And just like give my story out to the world, you know?
Sheff G's sentencing is scheduled for Wednesday, August 13th at Brooklyn State Supreme Court. He's expected to walk into the courtroom and most likely will be taken into custody immediately. Sheff says he wants everyone to know he takes full responsibility for his choices and he doesn't ever want to go down that road again.
Alright. So that's what's going on with the boy Sheff Jizzy. He's currently free at the moment, but you know, free that nigga. You know what I'm saying? Now what's interesting about the 5-year thing is that they said in March of 23 to April 24. So he put a year in before he got bail. So that'll get taken off. I think he do 10 months on the year. You know what I'm saying? So so if he got another, so we got, let's call it 40 months, so a good time. And 50 months with a good time or whatever and shit, and then you take 12 off. So he's like, we got 38 months. Like he'll be home in about 3 years. Maybe he can take some programs in there and knock some of that shit off. And yeah, bro, that nigga might be back in like 20 to 3 years. So yeah, he should be alright. Let me know what y'all think about this in the comments or whatever. You think Sheff still gonna have the following or whatever, or be able to revamp his career when he get home, or do you think it might dry up? Okay. In my opinion, he got better music than Bobby, so I think like he'll actually be able to sustain the fans with you know, on that side of it, you know. So yeah, we should see, bro. You know what I mean? Good luck to bro, whatever and shit. I'll be home.